Everyone wants the harvest, but very few people want the work that comes before it. Welcome to One Verse at a Time, a show where we slow down and zoom in on one scripture or a group of related verses so we can better understand the meaning and context. Today we're looking at Proverbs verses 4 and 5, which teaches a powerful truth. You can't reap what you never sowed. God designed life so that effort, patience, and wisdom all play a role in what we eventually harvest. Proverbs 20 verse 4 says, "A sluggard does not plow in season, so at harvest time he looks but finds nothing." And Proverbs 20 verse 5 says, "The purposes of a person's heart are deep waters, but one who has insight draws them out." Together, these verses teach us two important things. First, we must be willing to work. Second, we must understand the motives inside our own hearts. One thing the Bible makes very clear is that God did not design us to live lazy lives. From the very beginning, God gave humanity work to do. He has his role in the world, and we have ours. Proverbs gives a simple but powerful example. A farmer. Farmers know something most of us forget. You don't have a harvest without planting first, and planting takes work. Farmers understand their crops. They learn the soil, they learn the seasons, they know when to plant and when to wait. But Proverbs says the sluggard refuses to plow when the season comes, and later, when harvest arrives, they look for crops that were never planted. And of course, nothing is there. Another thing farmers understand is patience. Crops don't grow overnight, they grow over time. That principle applies to almost every meaningful area of life: growth in faith, and in character, in skills, and in purpose. All of it takes consistent effort and patience. In my own life, I'm working on several things right now. Writing books, writing poetry, improving on my music, growing this YouTube channel, building my TikTok. Those things don't actually grow automatically. It takes work. If I slack off and never put any effort into those things, then there's going to be nothing for me to reap years from now. God may place desires and dreams inside of us, but we still have to show up and do the work. One mistake we make sometimes is looking at someone else's success and wishing we could share their harvest. But harvest doesn't work that way. Every person has a field. Every person has seeds. And every person has the responsibility to cultivate what God has given to them. You can admire someone's harvest, but you can't reap crops from fields you never planted. This leads to the second verse, Proverbs 20 verse 5. It says that the purposes of a person's heart are like deep waters. In other words, our true motives can be hidden beneath the surface, but a person with insight learns to draw them out. Sometimes the reason we don't receive what we want is because our motives aren't yet ready. God is a good father, and like any good father, he doesn't give things to his children before they're mature enough to handle them. If blessings arrive before we're ready, we may not know what to do with them. One of the most amazing things about life is that God invites us to partner with him. We're made in his image. The Creator gave us the ability to create, to build, to grow, to cultivate. That's part of what makes life so meaningful. Yes, we live in a fallen world, but we also have a choice. We can drift along with the downward pull of the world, or we can suit up, pursue wisdom, and participate in building God's kingdom. If we work faithfully, examine our hearts, and align our lives with God's purpose, the harvest will come in its time. And when it does, it will be a harvest that God himself helped grow. Let's keep growing in wisdom together, one verse at a time.